I've seen a lot about people talking that we're getting more AoE weapons, that they first nerfed all of our AoE weapons or the meta AoE weapons, and now they're giving us new AoE weapons. And in a way, that is true if you stop and think about it. But that actually makes sense if you stop and think about it again. The thing is, the old way that we had our weapons and the way we use them to cheese, we're getting the way we have these new weapons. They do not allow us to cheese like the old ones. We're getting stuff that is really effective, that it works on groups, but that is definitely not as OP as before. And we are getting them, but the cost to get these weapons is quite high. Before you had to do a Kuva Lich, put a couple forma that it would already count towards your mastery, because Nemesis system weapons required you to put 5 forma in to have the full mastery. But that was just a part of something that you already needed to do. If you stop and think about these incarnon weapons and stuff, you need to get the Zariman, which is one of the last things you're gonna achieve in the game. You need to complete the circuit. You need to have the circuit on Steel Path unlocked, and for that I think you need like the Steel Path. You need to unlock the Steel Path. And you need Paddles clamps. Then you need to complete the challenges. So yeah, that's quite a lot of effort. If you are per week to do around let's give it a 15-minute run per 10 paddles clamps, which is usually around that. You can do a little bit faster, but it's kind of random. It doesn't always go as planned. Let's say you do them in 15 minutes. You're gonna spend an hour a week just farming for paddles clamps. You're gonna spend around, I would say, at least something between 2 and 5 hours in the circuit, Steel Path circuit. You have to forma, those weapons, and maybe a lot of them you just threw in the trash when you're having to build them again. Build a weapon, forma the weapon, do the challenges, which they're easy to do, but it takes a couple more effort. So in general, I would say these weapons are much harder to get. They have a lot of requirements, more requirements to get. Instead of just doing a Kuva Lich or a Sisters of Parvus, which takes like 2 hours, an hour and a half to 2 hours, and then follow the normal path, which is forming the weapon. Of course, there is all that thing, the Valence fusion and getting the right element and stuff, but still, that is just for the min-maxing, I think. And these new weapons, they don't have the same AoE potential that the old ones had. It's not as brainless. You have to shoot the heads. You have to then transform a weapon to use it and have the AoE potential stuff that you see in the dual toxicist. I don't know about I think the Lex is kind of like that. I don't have the Lex, so I can't talk much about it. The dual toxicist, the Miter has some AoE potential. The Despair is decent, but it's nothing as brainless and automatic as before. So we do have more options these days, but they cost more, and they are efficient in their own way. You could shoot a Kuva Bramma on the ground and kill everything. To your dual toxicist or your lethal incarnate to be effective, you need to hit the head. to then get surrounding enemies to be affected. You know, that's kind of how it goes. But I just feel like in the new incarnate weapons, they're all good in their own way. If they're not becoming meta, they're still a relevant upgrade to the base weapons, to what they already were, and that is pretty interesting. Some of them still need a bit of tweaking, if I'm not wrong, because there were some problems. But yeah, in general, they're good. They're good. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Do you think we're getting more AOE weapons? Do you think it is a justifiable, I wouldn't say a work, the work you have to put on is justifiable by the weapons damage and stuff? Was the old meta too easy to get, too cheesy compared to what you can do now? Or are you still using the Bramma and stuff to just cheese everything and don't even think a lot about it? Leave in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe. Peace.
Till next time.